result, and it's a little unbelievable. Right? I don't even really know how to follow that up. But, we're going to have a Q&A now with Sherry and Nathan. It'll be open forum, so please, if you have questions or anything, raise your hand and we'll get you a microphone.
So, I don't have a question. I just want to make a statement. I just want to thank you because of those before you, there was you, and because of you, there was us. So I give you gratitude and the garment of praise to be in your presence.
It's great.
I appreciate how much you emphasize soul and how important it is for youth to recognize the spirit. And I think that it's one of the things that we support quite a bit is because, and I seem like a perpetual student, but I never stop being youthful. And so I've had a career, and I've had a disability, and I graduated from here, and now I'm in Norfolk State, and I find it's really important for me to give back to the students the energy that I was given when I was growing up to not give up, and also to recognize what they already have that they can bring out so they can see. Sometimes technology can take us away from the things that we can create just because. And so I've been really encouraging children to read before they come to class. Don't ask the teacher comes to ask questions. And I've noticed a lot of change right in one of the classes that I'm in Norfolk State today. And it's because they got interested in, and it's a computer science class, operating systems, but it's just another way of developing, and I think that's what I heard from you. So, thank you.
I say, when I say creativity, I don't necessarily mean art, and certainly those things in particular help generate creativity in the sciences and math. What I try to tell kids is that if you don't have a passion for a particular art, then even if you become a scientist or a chemist, you're going to be relegated to pouring out test tubes for a living. It is the creative minds that are at the top. Either you have a lot of money, or you just have a creative mind that will propel you to the top to be able to make decisions about what happens with the technology we can create. So I just try to get them to find a passion, like poetry, like drawing, like the drums, like the guitar, so that they will understand what passion is, and then their occupation, they will be creative in their occupation.
I would just like to add one thing in terms of that. One of the reasons that I love working in the theater is that it is an ensemble approach to life, and one person can't do it all. Even a one-person show, there's always a team of people who have to work together in order to make it happen. So, Paul talked about not being creative, but everyone is creative, and by virtue of becoming part of a creative team, you give structure to someone who perhaps doesn't have structure, and that how we blend together those differences is a creative process that never, as Nathan said earlier, there's never a fight when you have artists in the room. You know, we may have passionate disagreements and conversations, but it's never a fight. It's always about being passionate about finding the best ways to make things work.
Somebody once told me a phrase that I find is very important, and that is, love like you will die tomorrow, and learn like you will live forever. And the message that I'm taking away from you guys are teaching today is that you're trying to promote the passage of peace, which is an encouraging ongoing feeling of love amongst people, because that is ultimately what peace is. And it's been my experience that multifaceted individuals like yourselves often have several organizations that feel passionate about suggesting themselves get involved in, and I was hoping you could share a few others that you guys are into or endorse with us today. Make it a little easy for some of the technologically challenged to take the first step in getting involved.
Well, I would encourage everyone to look up Fort Monroe. Fort Monroe on September 15th was passed on to, was transferred from the Army to public stewardship. And Fort Monroe, it is as important as Jamestown, Colonial Williamsburg, and Yorktown in terms of telling the story of how America was born and ultimately became the most powerful nation on the planet. And right now, there is concern that Fort Monroe will not be afforded the same type of integrity and respect as that of the initial three, of Jamestown, Williamsburg, and Yorktown. And as citizens of this region, I would encourage you to educate yourself about that and speak out about that. And it is merely being able to speak out. We don't need you to tap names or anything. Just kind of you make it known that you think it's important for that history to be shared in a way that allows people to come to this region and learn about how America became America. Because until we understand that past, we're never going to be able to move forward to the future that we all deserve. And this country has incredible potential, and many people think that we've already reached that potential. We have so far to go, and this region is an important part of making that happen. So, Fort Monroe, that's I beg of you.
Well, I'm a member of the Cultural Alliance of Hampton Roads and a number of other organizations, but I will go back to my address where I said that there are naval blockades, landmines all around our schools. You're sitting children down the narrow path that don't step off the sidewalk. You need to go in there behind them. You need to be at a PTA meeting. Because those teachers down in Atlanta didn't sacrifice their jobs to cheat for those kids because their moral values were corrupted. They were trying to battle for kids who are in an education system that doesn't value creativity at all. Just learn the test. If you don't pass it, then we're going to take your money away. That's where it starts right there.
And actually, in terms of when the introduction was made, it was an old bio because it said that I was a member of the Portsmouth School Board. I was a member of the Portsmouth School Board for 4 years, from 2004 to 2008. And many a time, I've realized that the true meaning of the term illegal alien, a term that I don't like to use, does apply to politicians in a very real way. And I'm glad that I had 4 years of understanding what goes on in those back rooms in terms of those meetings. And what I realized is that the education of children is low on the priority list in many of those back rooms, unfortunately. But me being able to be there from and look at it through an artist's eyes has empowered me in ways and allowed me to be others about how to deal with that system. As Nathan has just said, it's not about educating, but simply having these children be able to shade in the proper circle beside some words. That's not learning, it's not teaching, and we deserve better than that from our children.
Actually, I did have a question. It was actually a comment by Colin that, that he felt that he wasn't creative or that he wasn't talented in any particular way. I think many people feel that way, but it was just recently that I started to realize that we all create a lot. So that's a tremendous amount of creativity. But what about creativity and as artists can you say can inspire people because of the lack of hope in society today? In other words, what is the antidote for the lack of hope?
Wow. I'm going to have to go into a young lady's go to, well, first I wanted to say that there's a friend of mine back there in the back who is so extremely talented, and she would just love to get into schools and share her craft, her singing with students. But, when you don't show up at the PTA meeting, then the teachers have to do what the principal and the superintendent says. So I'll say that. And then I'll answer this question. The conversation right here with Danny sitting in the front row, next to the front row. And I was thinking about conversations we've had when I wrote this, and it has to do with a lot, especially inner city kids. They actually don't feel like they're going to live past 17, 18, 19. And so you don't have that kind of hope about life, then what is there really to live for? You just want to do whatever. But this goes to, it's kind of philosophical, but it says that a star is the brightest just before it burns out. Still thereafter, it keeps moving through the galaxy into infinite space. So smile in the face of your mortality. Shine. Just shine. Don't worry about death. Whatever you do, if it's good, if it produces light, then that light will continue whether you die or not. Light travels and it will continue. Even though that flash went off, there was nothing to block it. It continues to travel out into the universe. See what I'm saying? So don't think that your life means nothing, because it does mean something. And even after you die, it will mean something.
I've got something to add. Basically, thoughts become things, so you must choose wisely. You have to feed your faith and starve your doubt. So I think positive, go within. And I had this thing that I say that's kind of like, you say, I say, a star is a snare, or I sit upon steps of skies and evolve my destiny. We all have something to add.
Anybody else, one more?
the hip hop entered to the city to make that the kids start to say what they feel, what they watch. This start to open the spaces for to make that the people resist the violence. It's like one protection when the people come to express that they feel. It's like you can clean inside. You're scared, bad feelings, bad emotions. Only want to share that the art in my city, Concrete Medellin, that is the more violent city in the world in the 90s. Now is one potential city of art thanks to this, because we have much violence in the past, and the unique option that have the kids is to dance, to sing, to take one instrument. And one thing particular that happened too is that much kids, when just watch guns, want to be gangsters in the future. Because of the kids, what they want to be when you are big, and the kids say, I want to be one gangster like my brother. When they have experience in concerts, when they watch artists, they change their mind. And you question the kids what you want to be when you are big, and the kids say, I want to be dancer, I want to sing. This is one beautiful thing that the hip hop original, the roots of hip hop in my city, I want to share the experience because the opportunity gives for this. And thanks for the invitation, it's wonderful. I am very happy to be here with all these people.
I just thought of something that I remember my mentor. She was my theater mentor when I was in college, and she came to us as a social worker from the Chicago system. And she told us on Saturday nights she used to have to low crawl through Cabrini Green, or parts of Cabrini Green, to get to her clients, to save them from one disaster or another. And if you're familiar with Chicago, the gang system in Chicago, it was pretty intense up until the Bloods and the Crips came in from California and sort of dispersed that, I think, in the 90s or maybe in 2000. But it was really pretty tight situation. And she came to us, and she, as a social worker or a former social worker, and started theater at the University of Virginia. In fact, she had a couple of the first major black productions at University of Virginia, which I was a part of. And not having come from, I came from a middle class suburban background. I grew up in Bowers Hill and Chesapeake. Anybody who knows what that area is like, a place where God's students that let there be life over there. It's very quiet, very non-violent. But at the same time, I still had that feeling that I couldn't do anything. Here I was at one of the top universities, and I didn't think I could do anything. But I'm telling you, those first moments that I had on stage, and learning those lines, and doing that, and being a part of a cooperative production, it really made a big difference. I'm talking maybe like at least 160-degree turn for me. Maybe not the full 180. The rest I kind of got on my own, I think. But it's really, I think, for young people to have that experience that they can do something. And they can do something that can inspire other people. I think about the young people that you are working with, Nathan. I mean, we sat here, they were inspiring us. So imagine how their peers who are not participating feel about what the words that they have to say. I think that whole thing comes from I can do. As an individual, everything starts from the center, starts from you. And I know for me as an artist still in development, that idea that I can do is what makes me want to do more. And so as an artist who is interested in peacemaking, to inspire other people is a large part of it that they also can do.
I know we don't have much time, but I will respond to Jasmine. She was talking about hip hop, and this is for people that are my age and older. cops should be respected. We don't understand. We're not ranchers, but hip hop respects you. Hip hop respects me. So we should respect it. Hip hop samples us all day long. That's a sign of respect. When they go back and get the Isley Brothers, the Temptations, get riffs from those cats, that's respect. But when you come out of a war zone, guess what? Your heart is going to be bloody, right? It's going to be bloody. The problem is that we have ignored them so much that we let the powers that be take control over that art form and turn it into something that's not. Now, even our children, though, don't really understand the art form. The problem is when you don't you can't articulate your own art form, then somebody is allowed to take it away from you. I'll give you an example. Let me do on the spot. Young lady right there. Okay. Can you tell me what rap R&B stands for? Okay. You can ask a lot of young kids, what is rap? They go, oh, it's this, it's that. Rap, technically, the philosophy, rhythm, and poetry. And then there are 5 fundamental elements to hip hop. Study. Be able to articulate it. When somebody challenges what you're doing, be able to articulate your art form. And you can gain respect for that. But if you can't articulate your art form, then guess what? They're going to disrespect you, and then the people who have the money are going to come and take it away from you. And then 30 years from now, when they're telling me it's real hip hop, then it's going to be all skewed. It's going to be all whacked. Because you didn't tell the story.
I think that's all we have time for. Thank you, Nathan and Sherry. We will now have closing words by Ron Surrenderin.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank everybody for being here in spite of the rain. This is a very significant and important event for us organizing, and also the speakers for being here. But I would like to just, we're a little bit over time. We're almost 10 minutes over time, so I want to keep it short. My name is Ram, and I'm from India, but I'm a legal alien. I have a piece of paper that says I'm legal, but I don't like to work.
You're a citizen the same planet I am.
Oh, that makes better sense, all right? Okay, but I don't like the word alien. We're already living in an isolated world. Why would you want to alienate me or anybody else? But anyhow, I grew up actually in India reading about American Constitution. We read about world history and American history. And it really inspired me to read the history of America because it's something, truth that it represents, it really moves people around the world. But then the same constitution of law, which is so great from the forefathers on handed down, if it falls in the hands of a tyrant, then there is no meaning to it. So any constitution, any laws for that matter, how we use it, shapes the world that we are living in. Like Nathan put it about the nuclear fission, knowledge is power, but at the same time, knowledge could be a weapon of mass destruction. Right? So at the same time, the knowledge can be a beacon of hope. So I feel personally that artists are the gatekeepers at that point. Artists are the truth seekers at that point. Artists are the person like that young man who shared his poem in a beautiful way, stating the reality is the truth. So these gatekeepers are who? Are we, normal people. We don't have power or position, but we have this enthusiasm to see what is right and what is wrong and live accordingly, even though we don't have any money or power or position. Right? So that's what we stand. So I want to acknowledge a few people that have made this whole event happen. Now I have a list, so if you don't mind, I'm going to go behind this computer here and read my word of thanks. First, I would like to represent Mecca Marsh. She is the director of this student center, this beautiful student center that was just opened this year. And she's managing this whole center, and she was very accommodating. And the most helpful person that I've ever met. Thank you very much. And, she has a beautiful office manager, Yana Harris, who's standing behind her. She's gone into all minute details, including how to hang this poster on this wall. So, and there's a person who's missing here, Steve Cushing. He's not here. He's the guy who's AD set up and the layout of this floor. And also, two other persons who are not here is Dante, what a beautiful name, right? Dante and Mike, who are the event staff, who helped us set up everything here. And then Professor Thomas Hilton, who was here earlier, and who is a professor at TCC, Virginia Beach, TCC. And he's instrumental in helping us creating a student club here at TCC. So we would like to acknowledge him as well. And of course, our own Colin Smith, who is the president of such a power and passion, even though not an artist. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, we all love Colin, so he's the one who spearheaded the whole, event here. And of course, the Student Association, which is called SGA, or the PCC. And moving on forward, we have Gloria, who is our region public relations coordinator, along with the PCR committee members who are in here, who made this available to all the public. And also the committee members, if you're, few of you are here, I want to acknowledge whoever is here. Diane, who's sitting in the back, and Judith, who was the reception, and then Catherine DeWall, and a lot of others who are here, and also the taekwondo drum performers. It was amazing. It was amazing. Thank you very much. And finally, Nathan and Sherry, thank you very much for being here. It really means a lot to us. You say you're creating and evolving, but actually, no, you're actually handing down your life to us, and it's an eternity. We live your life, as she just pointed out. So it's the same air that we breathe, that we're breathing in and breathing out, standing for truth and justice. And as Sherry pointed out, art illuminates life. What a great statement, right? And art is a balance, and art illuminates life. I just want to read a very small quote from President Daisuke Ikeda of Soka Gakkai International. And it says, artists of the earth are experts in the art of life, who help transform themselves on the most fundamental level and gain true inner happiness. Their wisdom and actions are based on profound philosophy that both they and others possess the true nature of their own life to stand up for justice. This belief enables them to overcome self-centeredness and negative tendency and bring the power of compassion inherent in the universe to flow forth abundantly. So with this inauguration ceremony, we're going to have a ribbon cutting after this. We would like this whole universe to respond and flow freely in terms of expressing and standing up for truth and justice. And once again, thank you very much for being here.